Okay, friends, today we are going to use make.com to create automated updates based on emails coming into my Gmail account and send them into Notion. See, I have tasks where they're sending me emails every day about WordPress plugin updates and things like that, and I want to know that those things are happening, but I don't necessarily need to click in and view that email every single day. I just need to make sure that periodically those are still happening, right? So maybe it's the last updated import or things like that, right? So today we're going to use Make. So I've got a Make account here, and we're going to create a webhook. It's technically going to be a Mailhook that will trigger um, with an email coming in, and then we will do an update on a Notion block. So we're going to keep it really simple, but it's going to allow you to kind of see some of the things you could do with Make and your email and a basic dashboard to kind of keep updated on things as they go. So here we go. So we're going to start by creating a new scenario. Whoops. Up here in the, there we go. Maybe move myself back over here. Let's see, I created a new Make account for this demo. So we hit the plus, and we're going to type in webhook. And I know I told you that it would be a Mailhook, but we're going to go into this webhook and we're going to call it a custom Mailhook. Now in this case, I'm going to create one, and I am going to call it automated email to Notion updates. You can call it whatever you want, and it's going to give us this email address. So I'm going to copy that so I have it for later. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to forward our emails to that email address so that it can process the messages as they come in. So we're going to keep some of the logic in Gmail through our filters there, and then we'll keep some of our logic in Make. But we're going to make this one pretty simple. When an email comes in, we're just going to log it into Notion, excuse me. So then we're going to connect this to Notion. And we are going to update a page content. Now, I don't currently have Notion connected, so we will connect that. All right, so we've selected Notion public for our connection type. And then we come in here, I'm going to call this we're going to save this. It's going to pop open Notion. I am going to change this to this one. Pages I select, I say select pages, and I want this private test page. It will authorize it. It comes back. Now I need a page content ID and a type. So if I switch back to Notion, I have this empty page right here. I'm going to add a text block. Now, that's the block we're going to update. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy the link to the block and paste it so we can get the ID out of the URL. Okay, so we're going to say the page content ID, and we paste in this URL. So you'll notice it's got this whole page. This at the end, you've got this for hashtag and then that other thing. We're going to delete everything off after the for hashtag. So we just have the very end of that URL. And we're going to say that this type is a paragraph because I'm just going to update it with text. And we're going to add an item, and you could add a bunch of items, and maybe we'll do that later, but we're just going to put updated, and then I'm going to add in a date, time, because I want to format this. And I'm just going to do month, day, year, hour, minute, and then I'm going to close that. We'll actually just do it this way. And then I'm going to say OK. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this module just to test it and make sure it works. It says it was successful. If I switch back to Notion, we can see that that updated is there. Now, I want to make a slight adjustment to this because I want to know that it looks a little different. So it's kind of fun. I'm going to make that code. And then I'm going to add a new one. Whoops. A new item. And it is just going to say subject. And I am going to move that, grab this little box here, and you can see the order then. I can switch them around. I'm going to move this one above the other one. So first it's going to say the subject of the email, and then it's going to say when it was updated. So I will save this. Remember, we're going to copy this email. Now I can automate this process using a a Gmail filter and automate that sending. But for now, I'm just going to forward an email to that address. So I'm going to have it start listening once, so it's not on all the time, and then I'll forward an email to that, and we'll watch it process. All right, so I have an email created. I've got it sending to that email address, and I'm calling it test email for Notion. So I'm going to send this email, and I have a delay on my email sends, so we'll have to wait for 30 seconds. Okay, so that email's about to send. When it sends, we should see it come in here and hit this webhook, and then we should see it process through Notion. Hits the webhook, processes, we've got green, this is good. You can see the content of the email as it came in, the sender, it's just simple test. Here's the subject, and then any attachments or anything, but if we did, we could utilize those. And then we can see that it updated this content block. So we'll switch back to Notion, and sure enough, test email for Notion, and it came in on 10/11/2023. So if I had an email every day that was coming that said, plugins updated on this WordPress site, so maybe they're automatically updated and I get a notification email, it would say, plugin updated on this site, updated. And so I could create a new text block, or I could append to the end, grab the content off the block, and then add the new line, and it would just continue to go. There's different ways we could handle this. We could stick it into a Google Sheet and then grab the rows out of the Google Sheet and populate Notion. There's lots of different things we could do here, but here's what we've got is that when an email comes in, we can have it update little blocks of text inside of Notion automatically using Make, and the opportunities are endless. This is really simple, just to show how you could create a webhook, a Mailhook in Notion, and how to have, or in Make, and have it update Notion. Happy hacking.